United States President Donald Trump is unmasking some of the darkest faces of the deep state, and it's going to get disturbingly ugly. While the deep state theory and collective continue trashing Trump and trying to take him down, stabbing him in the back, and working against him, rather than with her for him, the Trump administration is keeping up in the fight. Trump's team is blocking the most significant blows and counter-punching with hits that will take their opponents down once and for all. The latest devastating punch to the deep state is Trump's team uncovering leaks and blowing the doors off the hinges of the enemy within. Trump's team identified 2 leaks thanks to inside sources within the White House and many hiding in federal law enforcement. For every secretive person working against Trump, there's at least 5 to 10 working for him. Time is up and they're ripping the masks off like the end of a witty investigatory cartoon. Now under fire is former CIA Director John Brennan. He reportedly teamed up with Senator John McCain and they're accused of distributing negative-based public relations stories within the mainstream media. These false and harmful press stories were designed to discredit and destroy the work that President Trump is accomplishing in his first term as the United States President. It's reported that some of the negative press stories that came from within were published before Trump began his official term as president, which means they were plotting against him before he even won the election in 2016 against Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton. True Pundit lists this as a major deep state smear campaign that was supposed to damage the Republican administration. Just weeks after Trump's election, in early December 2016, the Central Intelligence Agency was the major source in a national Washington Post story linking the Russian government to hacking the presidential election to help Trump, according to CIA personnel with direct knowledge of the case. The Washington Post, in a much-hyped front-page splash, fingered the CIA for allegedly confirming the wild rumors of Russian hacking that were concocted and spread by Democratic lawmakers for months preceding the election and the weeks since the GOP win. The Washington Post story, however, contained no CIA sources and in fact, no credible U.S. intelligence agency sources whatsoever. Instead, it hinged on what unnamed lawmakers had supposedly been told by unidentified, supposed CIA-linked sources in secret briefings, that the CIA had developed proof the Russian state waged an orchestrated campaign to destabilize the U.S. election to benefit GOP candidate Trump. It's an outright lie, a CIA analyst divulged to True Pundit in 2016. There's nothing definitive like that. Now, over a year later, more law enforcement sources point their collective finger directly at Brennan and McCain for leaking mass information to the media and waging their own clandestine campaign to smear the White House. No one has ever called these two on it, a well-placed White House source said. But now we know what they did. It did not work, but it certainly could have. At the time, multiple CIA sources denounced the Washington Post for knowingly reporting misleading national security intelligence. Intelligence insiders said no one in the agency or the FBI, who is running at least one parallel inquiry, has ruled out a possible internal leak within the Democratic National Committee from actors inside the United States who funneled private DNC emails to WikiLeaks. Enter John McCain, who White House insider believes delivered Brennan's mass information to the feet of the Washington Post and later the New York Times. McCain was active doing Sunday morning talk shows and doing his thing as he dished out false narratives and tried to throw Donald Trump under the proverbial bus that would crush his presidential career. But it didn't work. Accusations by McCain and Brennan didn't stick, and no other big players came to stand by the side. Not even notable Democrats like Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Maxine Waters would support them, but that party bus filled with clowns did their own thing to damage the president. They didn't have to leech upon others to do their disrespectful, dirty work. The combination of a former CIA director and American senator working together to abolish the existence of an elected president should be unnerving to many Americans. To make matters more interesting, the CIA itself later claimed that anything reported by Brennan and McCain should be considered white noise and discredited. That means this had to occur after Brennan left the CIA, but it's likely that he remained in contact with his friends within the system. Many people who leave their job stay in touch with friends and associates they made during the tenure of the position. The faces have been identified. Now it's a matter of time before President Trump takes the dagger out of his back and puts it where it belongs. For the web powered by Zergnet, this figure skating move was too provocative for the Olympics. Olympic figure skater handles wardrobe malfunction perfectly. The real reason you don't hear about Leanne Rimes anymore: snowboarder breaks his neck in terrifying crash at Olympics. Here's who Jackie Kennedy thought had her husband killed. Celebrities who can't stand Ellen DeGeneres.